Hello everyone, welcome to COMSC156. We will talk about Lecture 6 for Census. I'm your instructor, Ms. Laura Lowe. We are in week 3. In week 3, module 3, we will talk about census and charts. In lecture 6, the first part, let's review the method about tables we talked about last week. Then we will working on the census data. That will be a big table and big data. Then the next 2 lectures in this week, we will talk about how to do the visualization to demonstrate the chart for the data. You will see how to use the Python library, very easy to create different charts about the data you're passing for. The first thing, let's do some tables review. Last week, we talked about table structure. So table basically contains multiple columns. For example, you see here, you have the first column is the name of the state. Then we have the state's code. Then we have the area for that state. The first row are the labels for all the columns. You can see labels are strings. And also each column, except the label, all the value contained in a specific column, they will be the same. And not only columns are arrays, they with the same value for each column. And also all the columns, they with the same length. That means if here we contain all the 51 states, so then you have the name, have 51 states name. You have the label for the 51 states. You have the area for the 51 states. Last week, we also talked about a lot of table method, right? So the first thing that we can create table in 2 different ways. The first one, table.read_table. Then inside the parentheses, you can pass your CSV file, that's a text file. Then we will convert that text file into a table. Or you can create a plain table just using the table parentheses. Then dot with columns. So the columns function in the parentheses, you pass in the label name and the value for all the elements in the columns. After you create the tables, you can do for example, we create a table called T. So you can do T.number_rows to get how many rows in that table, or .number_columns. So you can see, be careful. Sometimes you have the parentheses that represent a function. So for example, read_table parentheses, that's a function name. But here, the number_rows and the number_columns, they are the 2 variable, 2 data, instance data from the tables package. So they don't have parentheses. Like we say, each column is an array. If we want to get all the columns, you want to get one specific column, then you can specify by the labels, the name of the column, or the indices. So the index always starts from 0. So then they will return you the specific column. Then that means that's an array. So when we talk about the index, so for example, here you have 3 columns, right? So then here the name, actually the index is 0. Code is index 1, area is index 2. To refer to the column of the name, you can either refer by the name using the single quote or using the index 0. So right, like earlier we say, in order to get specific columns, you can just using the table name, for example, T.column. Then parentheses, pass the label name, or specify the index. They will return you the array contain all the value of the column. So after you get that column, that's an array, right? So that's why you can using all the array method to work on the data in the columns. For example, all the sum function, minima function, maxima function can get you average minima from the columns, the max value from the column value. So using the item, you can pass in the index that return you specific column data. Once we have table create, we have many different ways we can manipulate our tables. You can use the select function, so they return you specific columns. Then you can use the drop to drop specific column, or sort, or where. So they all manipulate to do something meet your requirement and return you a new tables contain specific column or row you specify. Yeah, so if you remember, we talked about sort, right? Yeah, so you can sort the column value. By default, they do the ascending order. So then if you want to do the descending order, you can add the second argument, say descending equal to true. Or you can using the take and specify the row numbers. They will keep the numbered rows. Remember, each column you have index, so each row has index as well. So they start from index 0. So where you can specify the column name and you can give them specific value, then they give you the they only return you the row meet the column value the same. Or you can use some condition within the R dot condition. So let's go to see the Jubic notebook, because last week we didn't quickly show you the where with condition. Let's do that again. Yeah, last week we quickly to talk about the where with the R condition. So that's why you can see here we still have the NBA tables. Before we just using the where, then column name, then you specify specific value for the column data you're looking for, right? But actually we can give them the range. For example, here we just say we want to see the NBA player, the salary above $10 million. Okay, sorry, I need to run everything. So give me a second. Okay, so be careful. If you want, you just restart your Jubic notebook. So if you try to start running in the middle of the cell, if they link to the previous cell, they will have some error. So that's why earlier I just rerun everything. Okay, so then you see here, then we run again, right? So then you see, right, we have the NBA table ready. Then here's only the salary over $10 million. So you can have your where specify the column. Then you can do the R to give some condition. They can be in a range. You see above 10 million. Or you see between 10 million and 20 million. Okay. So then you see here we have R dot between. So they give you only the range for the salary between 10 million to 20 million. Or you can have some data contain specific character or the string. Okay, so we have the position, they contain the G, so they can be the point guard or the small guard. Okay, so that's the where method. So the where method, you can give the column name, then you can be specific value or in a range. Okay, so let's see more example. Yeah, so that's the more example. The same thing, we import data science package. So here we have more file for you. So this one is a survey from the spring 2020 for the student. So we have the CSV file. So let's read as the file, create a table we call welcome. So then you can see, right, we use the show, right? We only show the first 5 rows. So they have 5 rows, but total how many rows? Yeah, the total how many rows you can either using the 5 plus, they told you 13, 38 rows omit. Or you can also do one thing here is you can do show, then you can do the welcome. if we want to know the number rows. Okay. Number rows. Okay, so then you can see, right, it's 1343. Okay, good. So then, just like we say here in the survey, we have few columns. They have the first one, know what year they are, the student arts, actual version between 10 to 1. So then how many texts they do every day, and how many hours they sleep every day, and the which hand they use, right hand or left hand. So which legs they put in the pants first. And you have sleep position, they have pets, and how many person you have. So we want to use this table to do some review about the method we show you. Okay, so for example, we want to see how the people sleep. Okay, so we have they either on the side or on the back or on the stomach. So how about you just want to know people are the side sleeper. Okay, so we see here the side sleeper. Okay, so then right, so we're using the where function. So this where function, you specify your sleep position. Okay, like here we talk about when you're using the where or specify specific column, you can do the label, the name of the label. So don't forget your single quote, and they are case sensitive. Also, you can use index, but for myself, I prefer use the name of the label because that's more meaningful when we read the code. Otherwise, the sleep position, the index is start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we want to know only the side sleeper. So instead, for the left side or right side, we can just say containing side. Okay, so then we see here. Oh yeah, because we didn't display. Okay, so then we have only the side sleeper. Okay, so then of course, if we want to know how many hours they sleep, okay, so that's why here we can using the same thing for the side sleeper only. So we here the side sleeper, we still have all the columns. So then we just choose the columns for the hour of sleep. Okay, so then yeah, we try to get the average. So once you have your column, they return an array, right? So then you can using the NumPy method, so we can get average on that. Okay, so then the average about 7 hours. So this one actually only focus on the side sleeper. So how about we want to see how many students, for all the students, they sleep more than 8 hours. Okay, so how we will do how many students sleep more than 8 hours. Okay, so then here we have a couple different ways. The first one, of course, you can do the where's our sleep. Okay, so then right here. Okay, so we can do is we just using the R, give them the condition. So they are above or equal to 8. Okay, so we see here. Okay, if we just do like that. Yeah, so if we only get all the 8-hour sleepers, so you see they show you everything. Okay, so of course you can see how many rows. But one thing is, if we just right away have that new table, how about we just have the dot number rows? So that's why right away they calculate for us. So that's the first way you can do that. And also you can do other way is, like earlier we say, you can just get the column for that hour of sleep. Okay, so we see here. So we see here, if we only get the column for the hour of sleep, we will get an array, right? Okay, so then continue this array. If we do the last greater or equal to 8, then they will return as what? They still return as one array, but there will be a bool array. They just told you for each element, this condition is true or false. So that's why you see they are, if they are greater or equal to 8, they are true. So then this way we can do is, so we can count they are non-zero one, so that's the true. So then you